to pick. Have you scrimmed both teams, Acolyte?
Don't recall if we've scrimmed varsity before. We have scrimmed JV quite a bit, and we see these guys just growing rapidly. It is insane how fast this team is getting better. We've scrimmed them quite a bit. I think we've had like 3 scrims with the JV team, and you can see the growth basically week by week by week. And sometimes they can catch you slipping. Sometimes they can definitely catch even the more experienced people sleeping. Maybe they're sleeping just because they're old and it's past their bedtime. But they are the boomers.
Yeah. So sorry, that caught me off guard. But yeah, oh man. So I think you're pretty much thinking that SunnysideJV has the upper hand here.
Hard to say. It's really hard to say if they have the upper hand, just because I've played with Dark Blaze in a competitive environment before, and that guy just has the capability to take over a game so fast.
Yeah.
And we've seen. I'm not quite sure if the varsity team from Sunnyside has worked out where their strengths and weaknesses are yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't played them enough to know what their strengths and weaknesses are. So, they're going to have to show quite a bit right here because, like we said, it's the JV team isn't playing the same comp every single time. They're working around some stuff, and I believe they have prepared very well for this. Does El also coach both the JV and the varsity team from Sunnyside?
Yeah, he coaches all teams from Sunnyside.
I wonder what his part in the draft is going to be, if he's offered any advice to them, because he is the coach against 2 competing teams. It's kind of like when fighters have 2 different trainers, or 2 different fighters have the same trainer, and it's like, okay, so what side do you take?
Yeah, I think El Oso is super interested on who's gonna take this game. He's got his pen and notepad out. I wonder if JV wins, is he gonna promote the whole team into varsity? Is he gonna keep it the same? Uh, I'm pretty sure he's not really choosing a side. If anything, he's gonna just justify he's just gonna justify some movement in the rosters maybe, or just make the varsity become JV and JV become varsity. I think he's looking for answers in this game rather than to prove himself right. Is what I meant to say. My bad. What do you? What would you do if you were a coach of both of these teams? Would you try to cheer them both on? Would you tell them, hey, you know what? I'm watching you. Don't slip up. What's some of the things you would be thinking if you were a coach?
First thing I'm going to say is the Gooch Pooch no losing team does not drop out of school. I still got to get an education.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as black and white as in losing team like loses the starting spot. I think there's so much that kind of goes into it, especially in terms of like individual skill and communication and whatnot. And just certain teams gel better together. I mean, you could have 5 high elo players that are higher elo than the lower team, but if the lower team has the right shot callers and they have the right champion pools to mold the right team comps.
Yeah.
I mean, like you could have like diamond ones across the board, like a Tryndamere main who only one tricks Tryndamere, and then you have like a one trick, I don't know, one trick Zed and a one trick whatever. If they're not able to play competitively and have players play the roles their teams need them to play, it could go south.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just as simple as promote the JV team if they win this match. I think there's definitely a lot of moving parts that you can look at it. I mean, because who knows, someone can just throw everything under the bus and then just fall apart and feed like 20 kills to their opponent, and it's like, well, since one person got 20 kills, that means we're going to kick the entire team.
You don't think that's the case?
No, I do not.
Looks like we have Tom back here. Tom, what do you got to say about this definitely hype matchup? What do you look forward to in this game?
I'm really curious how varsity is going to maintain their composure, because it, like, putting myself in their position, right? You're playing up against the JV team. A lot of people are having their high hopes for the JV team. is that pressure gonna hit you hard, right? Like that's gonna hit me pretty hard if I'm on the varsity team, and then to be belittled by someone that is, of a lower age, and on paper as well too, not as high on paper. So I'm very curious to see how they're going to maintain their composure throughout the early game, to see how they're going to deal with that mental warfare, and trying to see how they're going to battle that, because I mean, again, both teams are extremely aggressive early. So, and again, it's a best of one. They only have one shot. How are they going to go about it? What are they going to do? How's the draft going to look? I mean, everything is gonna be it's super hype. Like, I can't stop smiling because it's pretty damn hype for me.
Yeah.
Pass it back to you guys. Thank you.
All right, sorry about that. We're fixing who takes what side. It is varsity on red side, just to go ahead and make that clear. But that's an interesting point that I didn't bother to think of, only because I was so hyped for SunnysideJV. Taking down Grizzly Gaming, aka GZG. How will they like deal with this pressure? Because they're coming into it definitely on a high, right? They have a better record than Sunnyside Varsity. The Boomer Boys thing, I don't think phased them as too much, right? Sunnyside Varsity already lost their first game against GZG. So is SunnysideJV gonna be feeling a little different? Are they gonna be prepping for a match not in their bread and butter type of way? That's an interesting point. One thing I definitely need to see from SunnysideJV is the same macro plays. I think Varsity has better individual plays, where SunnysideJV has better macro. So I always think macro beats individual plays, especially if you end lanes early. You want to get out of lane, because that's where better players will definitely take advantage of you. And just truly interested to see what's gonna go down. All right, here we go. Looks like Pro Draft is getting ready. Let's see.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're just waiting for them to start. Varsity does have side selection for this match. They have opted to take a red side. Usually when that happens, that means that you're banking on one of your players to get the counter pick here. And am I seeing this right? Am I seeing blue pancakes in the mid lane?
Whoa, they got a they got a. It looks like they got a sub, and it's Ken. What up, Blue Pancakes? What up, Ken? There he is going in the mid lane. We'll see how well he does up against Glizzy God himself. So it looks like this is not going to be a true varsity versus JV. He was on the varsity team last year when he was in Sunnyside. He was the support. A lot of people know he's a Pike main. He's converted over to Pantheon. Definitely loves Swain. So we'll see how he does well in the mid lane. Ah, man. This kind of hurts me a little bit. Only because Sen Headpats is a mid lane main. Sen Headpats, I don't know if Blue Pancakes is going to be able to replicate that same style. Because he definitely is super aggressive. We'll see, though. I don't know as of certain. And I don't know how this will affect both teams on the outcome of it. If JV wins, will Varsity go ahead and say, you know what, we didn't have our legit roster? If Varsity wins, is JV going to tell Varsity, like, oh, we would have beat you with your legit roster? Is some banter like that going to be going back and forth? I'm truly interested to see.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go right here. I'm really interested to see Blue Pancakes champion pool in the mid lane. I mean, every champion that he played that you listed right here can be flexed into the mid lane. We've seen mid lane Pike before in solo queue. We have seen mid lane Pantheon sometimes. We've seen it more top, but bot lane support is the most recent one. And we have seen Swain in the mid lane as well. So coming out bans pretty fast. We see Fiora, Orianna bans. And again, I'm not 100% sure on these champion pools. I believe Eggs and Rice is a Fiora main. So that's definitely a target ban.
Yeah, Eggs and Rice likes the bruisers on the top side. I think that's been his like his signature pick. I think he's been practicing at that the most. And Oriana Syndra coming out definitely targeting Glizzy God.
Two of his biggest champions right there. We do know he has a nasty Syndra. He showed that in the AOE draft. His Oriana also a standout pick. He played that really well with the Meatball comp when he took down the first championship match as a part of Team Bacon Yummy in the first AOE player draft.
Yeah, he actually played with Bacon Yummy on the second one as well. They didn't go as far as the first one though. He is a draft champion alongside with you and Dark Blaze. So he's been on very very important matches before, but I don't know if the rest of his team is gonna be comfortable playing. Is gonna be playing at their best potential. Uh, Caitlyn.
JV putting the priority pick onto the Caitlyn right here. Caitlyn is known for having that range advantage, being that bully. And Ashe, one of the more meta picks this time around, does bring so much utility. Has the slow, has the Ashe arrow, and the Maokai. I think Deathslayer is taking a page out of the draft season. That Ashe Maokai lane just ran rampant all over the AOE draft season, the most recent one. So keeping that one going. The Morgana pick, very good pick, having that black shield ready to absorb the Ashe arrow or any CC. So really forcing the varsity team to choose their targets wisely and to be able to switch their targets as they need to.
Yeah, 100%. Oh man, what's a more dominant lane, Ashe Maokai or Caitlyn Morgana? I think Caitlyn Morgana probably beats him out, right?
I mean, Caitlyn Morgana is going to have the push, or they should have the push, because they have the Tormented Soil, they have the Caitlyn Piltover Peacemaker, they have all this stuff to kind of push to the lane in right there. And if Ashe Maokai decide that they want to fight, they're going to have to fight into the minion wave. Also, a lot of it kind of depends on Maokai landing that stair to kind of lock them down, and Morgana's Black Shield mitigates a lot of that magic damage that comes out of the Maokai burst. I think it was a very good pickup. They pick Azir for Glizzy God right here, reaching pretty far into his champion pool with that 3-ban. Didn't want to go to the second round of having Glizzy God lose more champions. So second round of bans, they pick up the Kayn for Tim. Dark Blaze does love his Kayn just as much as El Oso. I do think El Oso kind of like talked him into it. But the rest of the bands all going towards topside. We see Orin Poppy banned away from Eggs and Rice, and Wukong Riven banned away from Zerozen.
Yeah, Zerozen, a family member of Sen Headpass, and apparently he is a threat on the SunnysideJV team, especially with these bans. It looks like they're banning out his top picks, Wukong Riven. Annie,
Ooh,
coming
the
out
Annie
of Blue Pancakes. And actually, a fun fact: Blue Pancakes used to be an Annie one trick, so he's very familiar with that champion.
Oh, Bursty's coming out left and right. That Black Shield can get bursted right away with the Annie Burst. They picked the Aurelia to go top lane. That is a blind pick Aurelia.
Yeah.
We'll see what Varsity wants to pick into it. Let's see, what top laners are even left? Malphite. Malphite is a huge tank top laner that is still left over and has an AoE knockup, so Black Shield's only going to be able to save one. And a Victor pick? Is that... Huh?
We'll see.
That's Vi. Okay, I was going to say that has to be their jungle pick.
Yeah.
Vi is close to Victor. They said that was a misclick. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, so Vi is their jungler. Oh, kind of a standard jungling champ. I mean, she could go 3 buff into gank. I think her farming's not too bad. And Darius, that's one thing I was gonna say. I was like Morte, Darius, and Garen, like the big 3 bruisers in the top lane. All I think give Aurelia a rough time. So Darius was picked up. We'll see how Zerozen deals with it. There is some outplay potential though.
Definitely, if he's able to get in and out of the range of the Darius. I mean, you know the Darius combo. He uses the apprehend, slows him down, and then uses the Q to go away to get his health back up. But Aurelia, if they're able to play the stuns correctly, get in, get out, and kind of dance around the Darius, it's a hard matchup, but it is possible.
100%. And Tom, you're still here with us. Talk to me about this draft. What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? What that's good? What do you see that's bad?
I mean, varsity has a pretty straightforward comp, and it's going to be very easy to execute. I think JV's team is extremely difficult, minus the Vi maybe. Vi is going to be able to set up pretty easily for the rest of the team. I do want to say, though, that B-Boy Slow's Morgana is absolutely disgusting. So I'm concerned for varsity. So as long as they can disengage properly to that, I think it's going to work out pretty well. But I mean, again, JV I think has the initiative in a lot of the team fights, mainly due to Black Shield onto Vi possibly or onto Irelia. I think it's just, man, I'm so Sen Headpats isn't in this game.
No.
Oh, because I believe their top laner Zerozen is related to him, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm concerned why he's able to play and then Sen Headpats isn't able to play. Because again, I want to see that kind of like, you know, those family ties and being able to rival against one another. I think those are really great ways for them to bond, hopefully. But again, I'm still super excited. I think varsity definitely has easier execution, but I think JV definitely comes on top in terms of draft power. They won draft, but varsity's way easier to execute, I would say.
Okay. Acolyte.
And
Yeah.
a point and click route from the Maokai, long range engage from the Ashe, point and click AOE stun burst from the Annie. So, like you said, it is very easy to execute because these aren't very high skill cap champions. Like when you think about Aurelia, there's so much with Aurelia you have to think about in terms of keeping your passive stacked, in terms of making sure that you're getting the minion executions at the right, going in, going out, playing around the stuns. That stun is pretty difficult to land. I mean, Darius isn't a mobile champion, so I mean, it makes it a little bit easier. It's not like having to play it onto a Lucian or a Gnar or something like that can kind of dance away. Azir, heavy mechanical champion. Azir benefits the most when he has some lockdown in front of him, so that way he has like space to get all of his auto attacks up and to keep his soldiers just pumping out left and right. But so that's going to be hard for Glizzy God to get his damage off. But the Morgana with the Caitlyn, the Morgana is going to be so clutch in this matchup. I mean, Vi, usually what shuts down Vi is that when Vi goes in, just insta burst as soon as Vi finishes the ult, but the Black Shield is going to prevent that. It's also going to allow Caitlyn to do their thing as long as they don't overextend and let Caitlyn just get bombarded by the Maokai, by the Kayn, by the Darius. I mean, Darius just pops Ghost, and Caitlyn, not very mobile, just has to play around the traps very well. So a highly mechanical team coming out of the JV team, who you don't suspect to be the more mechanically gifted players, according to Elo, but I want to see them prove me wrong.
Just to go ahead and talk about the compliment that Tom gave B-Boy Slow for his Morgana. He's not on the Morgana. He's on the Caitlyn. Yeah, I forgot to see that too. On the SunnysideJV, is on the side of on the SunnysideJV has subbing in for I believe Ghetto Gangland. So now it's B-Boy Slow in the bot lane. B-Boy Slow, someone that you said has a nasty Morgana, is not on the Morgana. Though is familiar with the support role. He was on the SunnysideJV team last year, I believe, if I can remember correctly. So we'll see how much synergy they have. I'm pretty sure they didn't bring him in just cause. I would assume so. I would assume that they have some kind of synergy, some kind of experience together. If not, that Morgana Caitlyn might fall apart. Oh,
that's what adds another dimension to the JV team, is their ability to kind of swap up a little bit. I mean, you see how they're lined up. Is lined up in the AD carry role, B-Boy Slow lined up in the support role. And so that makes them kind of flexible, determine like based on what composition they're running and what champions they're playing. It's like, oh, okay, we both play a pretty good Morgana, but you're the better Caitlyn player. You take the AD responsibility, and I'll take Morgana this game. So that is very useful for a team. It does make your drafts a little bit more unpredictable, but when they're picking it so early in the game, it kind of takes away from the strength of that flex.
Very well said. Very well said. Oh man, this has become more and more interesting. This matchup, only because there, I have seen IAW and B Boy Slow play together. Oh man, I don't know how well they're gonna synergize with the rest of the team though. Uh, as far as
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just hard. It's too easy for the varsity team just to engage on them. I mean, like Morgana can only black shield one person, but the rest of them are just are kind of targets. There's not a lot of beef. There's not a lot of front line to allow Caitlyn to get all the damage off and create space for the carries.
yeah.
There's not a lot of beef to get in the way to let Azir get all the damage off. So they're depending very heavily on the Azir wall being very clutch. They're revolving around Morgana being able to spread out the team fight and to be tanky to last long enough in order for the rest of the champions to get their damage off.
Yeah, like you guys have said before, Sunnyside JV more mechanically needed team comp. We'll see how well they do. They are probably feeling themselves. Oh man, I don't know if this is gonna answer a lot of the questions that I had with both of these subs. We're getting into it. 12 seconds left. Any last comments before we go in? Any predictions that we want to say? I still think Sunnyside JV will surprise us and take the victory. But do you want to solidify a pick, Acolyte or Tom?
Nope.
Acolyte said nope. Tom.
I'm definitely gonna go with JV for sure. Just because I want to see it. I just want to see it. I mean, I don't think that it's one sided, but I want to see it. That's all.
I just can't go against my former teammates, Dark Blaze and Death Slayer. I've played with them. I mean, Death Slayer, being one of the lower Evo players in this lobby, he definitely has some game sense. He's able to play his champion very well. Like Maokai is, I kind of consider that a comfort pick for him because he just played it so much. And again, Dark Blaze on the Kane, we see Kane can just run rampant over teams if it's not kept in check. So it's going to take a lot from the JV team to keep that Kane down.
Yeah, 100%. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I was so hyped. I was so on the Sunnyside JV hype train. With B-Boy Slow new into the support role, he is going ADC this game though. Maybe he'll go ahead and surprise us there too. Maybe he has some tricks up his sleeve. He's not just a good support, but he's a probably even better ADC. There's only really one way to find out, and it's through this game. But oh man, this is not gonna answer all the questions between Sunnyside Varsity and Sunnyside JV. But the hype train of Sunnyside JV's definitely has two people on board, right? Me and Tom, Acolyte, showing a little bit of bias, just a little bit. Sticking with the Sunnyside varsity team. And here we go, getting started. Invade or no invade? What do you guys think?
I mean, if you're playing in a competitive match, usually teams are a lot more risk aversive, meaning they don't want to give up so many leads or give up too much at the very beginning of the game. So I anticipate 5 point, but we'll see. I see a ping towards the bot lane, and is it possible they meet each other? We see varsity team is spreading out for a 5 point. We see the JV going together. They do have the dark binding to lead. They are kind of spread out in terms of where they go. But they aren't spotted. They are spotted by the saplings. Oh, and that's the power of Maokai. Maokai just gives you vision without really giving you vision.
Yep, and look at Sunnyside Varsity just completely reacting, going to Vi's Blue. And
it's not like they're getting a ward. I think they're trying to catch someone.
Oh, Zero's in. Watch out. He is taking
Yeah, there's that ward. That's not trying to see a buff. Oh, good ward. Great ward right there. Smelling something fishy in the waters. But Derek, is he going to give it up here? He
I think he should only because of Darius's power at level 1. He has that auto W reset.
Yeah, and he's gonna go back to it. He put the ward down, and he does see him leave. Kane goes to farm his Raptors right there. Very interesting level 1.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. That was pretty hype.
I'm a little sad that Sunnyside Varsity didn't step on the pedal and just take that blue buff away from Darrett, but they backed off. It's all right. They'll go ahead and regroup. Kane going Raptors red. I'm assuming he's going that full topside clear. If he's learned anything from the book of El Oso as far as jungling with Kane, I think we're gonna see a top lane gank immediately after those Krugs.
Yeah, taking a look at this, I think Aurelia might have missed some creeps, so might be behind on levels. And that's definitely it feels bad, man, when you're in a 1v1 matchup. Falling behind in levels is not where you want to be. Something else I want to comment on, Azir going for the lethal tempo instead of the Karmat. So he's not looking to poke, he's looking to do a lot of damage. And again, you benefit from that if you're in these extended fights. I don't know if they're going to be able to make that space for it to happen.
Yeah, just talking about the Aurelia deficit is gonna make it that much harder because I think Darius is their counter, right?
Oh yeah, and Zerzan goes in, misses the stun. Eggs and Rice able to put a little bit of damage down, but backs away. Vi is spotted out by the ward. And look at this tempo. Vi has to go very far to get to the next camp. Meanwhile, Kane already finishing up the Wolves.
Yep, and I'm kind of saddened to see Darkblaze not engage onto top lane, but look at here, Barrett hovering mid lane.
Yeah, and he does have the movement speed to get away, and here comes Kane invading onto that Raptor camp right here. It looks like he's looking to throw down.
And look at that in the top lane. Eggs and Rice picks up the first blood onto Zerozen.
Yeah, we're so interested in this, that 1v1 going down. I mean, Darius is that lane bullying. Look at this. We see the twisted advance onto Darrett right here. Lands the slow with the saplings. Dark Blaze goes through the wall right here. And we see, oh my god, the ADC goes down, but Darrett falling to Death Slayer on the Ignite. So Varsity up 2 for 1 right here. And here comes the collapse. Azir is level 3, but is followed up. And there we go. This flash twisted advance from the Maokai is locking him down. He's able to shuffle himself away right there. And Dark Blaze able to take down the red buff, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm kind of saddened to see SunnysideJV didn't try to commit to something. Azir was in a sticky situation, so he did have to expend flash. And it looks like red buff goes over to Dark Blaze, and he's just gonna farm up the rest of his bot side, the blue and Gromp, making him a buff ahead of Darrett. And
he punishes Darrett so well right there. He saw Darrett in the top lane after clearing his top side jungle, so immediately he goes into the red side jungle and just starts taking away some stuff. Just really taking advantage of the pathing that he saw Darrett do. That's just excellently played by the varsity jungler.
Yeah. Oh man, Dark Blaze already getting a lead, showing his strength. Can completely roll over a game through the jungle. Has the conquer, so he's looking for the red cane. Definitely got a lot of those. What is it? Those I call them fight stacks, but. What's the true definition? Oh, what's the true name for him?
What's it called? The Darken, I believe. I'm not sure. I guess we just call it stacks. I'm cool with stacks.
Darken stacks?
I guess so, right there. But we see Dark Blaze on his way down again. He's going through the wall. A great binding from IAW is able to get him off, but the slow is still there. There goes the black shield, and it just perseveres through everything. It eats a lot of damage, forced to expend the flash right there. Dragon is up, but we see Vi countering it by going into the topside jungle of Dark Blaze.
Ooh, B-Boy slow, getting slowed down by Space Ninjas.
Lands the binding too, but look at that. Death Slayer just stepping up. He says, go on my carry, go, I dare you.
Yeah, definitely saved Space Ninjas there. Oh, here in the top lane though, it's level 6 to level 5 Aurelia. We'll see if Eggs and Rice is gonna commit to him.
Really down about half a level right there. Blue Pancakes dangerously taken low right there from Glizzy God, just able to utilize that range advantage to put down so much poke.
Oh man. Yeah, Dark Blaze is on a tempo that I don't see Derek catching up. Look at that, 41 to 28 already. Dark Blaze has, I think, 2 ganks over him. The map pressure. Ooh.
Yeah, it's really hard for us to kind of see where the Kane is in terms of farming. I don't see if we're going to be able to see how close they are to blue Kane or red Kane. We do know, you know, hit melee champions, you get red Kane faster. Hit the range champions, you get blue Kane faster. And we saw so far his damage was mainly on, I believe, Vi in the jungle. He's gone down the carry, so it's been pretty split damage. And we'll see if that delays his form at all. But, I mean, if you're taking these camps, that's really good.
Yeah, 100%. And then he's already on his. I think those Raptors have already been taken twice. That's gonna be the 3rd time they respawn. And I believe the sweet spot for a jungler is that level 9. So the fastest you can get there, you're just gonna get that jungle boost to level 13. I think that's what El Oso had explained to me before. They do see him though, so missing pings onto the Raptors. They do sense he's there.
It is possible we might see a scuttle fight coming up pretty soon right here. But, I mean, across the board, we're seeing things pretty even. Aurelia got solo killed and even has a CS advantage. Wave pushing into him right there. They do see Dark Blaze onto the scuttle. Vi charging up, but isn't going to be able to see it right here. Does not have the level 6 quite yet, and Dark Blaze is on the hunt. Isn't going to be able to do too much. He might be looking to take the Gromp. Looks like he will. And Derek just opting to go to the opposite side of the map. Are they going to use the pressure from the bot lane to go onto the dragon? We'll see.
Yeah, but look at this here in the top lane. Zero's in.
Oh, yeah, that's
all of the Ionian Fervor.
Ooh. He does. Oh!
Oh! Just goes down. And in the bot lane. Oh! B-Boy slow! Look at B-Boy slow!
Oh my god, he's putting down so much damage, but here comes the flash twisted advance to take down his support, and Ash just stepping up a little bit too much, but here comes B-Boy Slow, stacking that passive because he is in there, uses the ultimate, and there's 2 kills, 3 kills overall onto the Caitlyn. Oh my god, that 2v2, you were just on top of it, man. This map movement is unreal right now. It's just kind of, it's slow. It slows down for a little bit and then it just pops off like nowhere. And it's hard for us to catch up. But man, look at that all the way across.
Man, I'm just trying to follow you, and direct the camera takes me to the other spot, so it ain't much work on my side. I appreciate the casting acolyte. I'm sorry I can't color cast as well to match up, but the action is definitely hyping me back up. I was a little saddened that they have subs, but the action is definitely getting me more intrigued. Glizzy God having his way up against Blue Pancakes. He can't really do much with Annie. Zero's in was so close at taking down the Darius, but unfortunately goes down that 5-stack ultimate. Oh, I think he was like, what, 100 HP away from taking down.
It was close. It was definitely close, and you know that's where the mobility from Aurelia comes in handy. You need to be able to go in, get some damage out, and then pop back out so you don't get 5-stacked on. And I mean, the all-in came in, but it just wasn't quite enough to take down the Darius, even with the lifesteal that Aurelia does have built into their kit. Yeah, just wasn't quite there, man. Something I do want to mention right here: we have Caitlyn with 3 kills right here, had the BF sword back. And we had Ash step up, and they went kind of ham on the engage right there, but BF Sword versus the Vamp Scepter, that's not really a winning matchup in the terms of the bot lane for them. And if you're building the Vamp Scepter, that means you're looking towards building the Blade of the Rune King. Yeah. And Blade of the Rune King is something that you build when you're trying to just shred enemy tanks right here, but there's not really a lot of tanks from the side of the JV squad.
Yeah, so the more traditional crit build would have been best.
Or maybe Essence Reaver first might have been good, having the BF sword to put that damage out. Yeah. And just relying on that volley letho tempo to kind of get that attack speed going. That's probably what I would have preferred to see. I'm not 100% sure though. It's been quite a while since I've played bot lane. Maybe the man Tom can give us a little bit of insight on in terms of builds.
What you got to say about these builds so far? If If you could go ahead and see them from where you're at.
Yeah. Oh, they're starting up
they're
though.
already starting, but go ahead and let me know.
Yeah. Caitlyn should be Stormrazor'd up here, right, on this reset. And then that's going to be a pretty good setup. Not a big fan of Annie's build right now. I think Protobell is probably the best in this situation, just finding that initiation for the team and then being able to have Ashe and Maokai follow up. I mean, once Irelia gets Bork, I don't know if Darius can even fight her anymore until Grievous Moon is picked up. But, I mean, go ahead and go into the gameplay. It's getting crazy in there.
Yep, going into the gameplay. Oh, Darius gets caught out. Ooh,
Yeah, Dare going forward is able to dash a lot of the damage there, but Annie putting down the Tibbers. We had the flash engage from the Dark Blaze, and he was able to take them down right there. Huge kills for the varsity squad, and it looks like they're not going to stop anytime soon.
Oh man, that was kind of random. I think they wanted to go ahead and catch SunnysideJV still lacking for sorry for the terms the vocabulary used, but they're trying to catch SunnysideJV lacking. They had to go ahead and sucker punch him with that rift. I don't think they were ready for it. Derek does get his respawn red though. Dark Blaze just tipping the hat, saying okay, I'll go ahead and give that up. But look at the CS differential. 24. That's 4 camps? Oh no, sorry, 6 camps.
Yeah,
right?
and look at this. Look at the top wave too. We see a 2-level disparity right now. Eggs and Rice has the Darius over the Aurelia, and if you're the Aurelia, you feel pretty bad about this because you're going that attack speed, Blade of the Rune King build, trying to sustain up, and just not going to be able to survive the all-in when you don't have that much HP.
Yeah, I think that's still her best bet in order to deal out the most damage possible, though. On stationary champs like Ashe and Annie.
And it's what you need, the percent health damage onto something like the Darius and the Maokai.
Yeah.
I mean, even Dark Blaze will get a little bit tanky when he gets that red form and he starts building that Black Cleaver. But we see Derek trying to set something up here. They're trying to get this going. Look at that Death Slayer going down really low, and B-Boy Slow able to take him down. Well done. I mean, Derek's playing towards his strong side right here, but B-Boy Slow is just so oppressive on this Caitlyn right here.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's showing up and showing that he doesn't just got supports in his belt. I think he's got some ADCs as well in up his sleeve. Right, coming up in 2 minutes. Rift Herald in 3. Not really too many objectives to go ahead and go around for.
So let's talk about this game right here in terms of like game state. We see Caitlyn right now is the carry from the side of JV. From Varsity, we're playing through the solo laners right here. So can you keep the Caitlyn safe? That's the name of this game right now, is can you peel for the Caitlyn? And Kate going back down to catch this bot wave right here. It's a pretty big wave, but right now on their own, kind of a scary situation. We see pings for a dive onto the top side right here. Dark Blaze is there, is spotted out by the ward, but here comes the wave crashing. Looks like Zerozen is just going to stun and walk away, so just forced to give up that wave and fall even further behind in experience.
I like the aggressiveness on the opposite side of the map for Dark Blaze, just trying to slowly beat down the Aurelia. Oh, but look at this Glizzy God getting extremely low.
And that's just the power of the Annie right there. Electrocute Annie. Even if you don't win the matchup and win the all-in, you still get some damage down. And here comes Derek. Goes over, uses the ultimate, putting some damage down. Blue Pancakes does not have the abilities up to land a stun, but Death Slayer is there on the run. Here comes Glizzy God. He used the teleport to get back in there, and he may have went a little bit too far. Gets hugely chunked by Death Slayer, and that's got to feel bad to TP all the way to lane, just to have to go right back to the fountain.
Yep, and while that was all happening, Sunnyside Varsity actually took a chance onto that tower dive, and Zerozen was actually able to survive. Eggs and Rice got extremely low. Dark Blaze, though, still applying the pressure onto Zerozen, not letting him farm for free.
Yeah, puts out the first part of the sun right there to try to fend off any aggression that Dark Blaze might have. And we see the dragon is on its way up. We have about 4 seconds right here, and Dark Blaze is on the opposite side of the map. TP is up. It is up from Zerozin, and they're going to start this right away. Glizzy God's still very low. They have trapped off the jungle, but that's not where they're coming from. They're being squeezed from both sides. Are they going to be able to get out of here? And we see... Yeah, we see right there. Look, it's can we keep the Caitlyn safe? The answer is no. They leave B-Boy Slow out to dry. Glizzy God gets taken down from the Annie. We see Dark Blaze onto the Derek jungle versus jungler, and he just takes them down right here.
Oh,
and
man.
they just focus way too hard on the dragon.
Yeah, I mean they were able to get it. That's the good thing, because if it would have got stolen, it would have been just that much worse for SunnysideJV. And yeah, it looks like it all fell apart as soon as the dragon got taken. Sunnyside Varsity, they were initiated already, and it didn't look like they had a plan for Sunnyside Varsity really reacting to that dragon. Almost looked like they thought they had all the prio, they thought they had all the they had all the wards or something. They definitely felt some kind of confidence in just melting it as soon as possible, but they all go down for it except for one.
It's kind of crazy too, because when you take a look at, excuse me, 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. Meanwhile, looks like Eggs and Rice was able to pick up the turret. Ooh, and just the lead that Darius has. I don't think SunnysideJV has an answer for that. And then on top of that, Kane is still gonna turn into red form. I think he's looking for red form. They're on the Rift Herald right now. Yeah, he's red form already. Sorry about that. Red form and Darius. That's yeah.
Yeah, Caitlyn, I mean, are they going to be able to peel for the Caitlyn? You saw Caitlyn really far away. I thought they might have just had, like, Caitlyn net over the wall and then Derek kind of go over the wall and slide over the wall, and they just would have sacrificed 1 or 2 members there.
Mm-hmm.
But Caitlyn ended up stepping so far out into the river and just got hung out to dry. So, hopefully they're able to adjust their game plan accordingly. I mean, when all of your kill gold is onto the Caitlyn, that's who you got to play to.
Yeah, I don't see how they're gonna. Are they gonna be coordinated enough to go ahead and do that though? They don't like we said during the draft. They don't have that one champion to just really sit in the front and soak up all that damage. Look at this though, Dark Blaze.
Yeah, it goes in onto Zerozin right there, misses the knockup, but Zerozin in a very precarious situation, uses the Blade of the Rune King to get some movement speed, but we know Kane can go through walls. Ooh. Uses the ultimate to get a mark and try to dash out, gets the damage reduction, but it's just not going to be enough as Darkblade just whacks away at him. Glizzy God is here, uses the Stream of Shuffle, puts the turret up. Darkblade flashes forward and gets some damage onto Azir, uses the ultimate, and just 1v2s in the top lane. Darkblade just nasty on that pick right there. And look at that arrow, Enchanted Crystal arrow from downtown. Here comes Eggs and Rice. He goes forward, lands all the CC onto B-Boy Slow. They do have the Rift Herald still, and this game is running away very quickly from the JV team.
Yeah, SunnysideJV, while that skirmish was happening up in the top lane where Darkblaze was having his way up against 2 members of SunnysideJV, actually got caught in a sticky situation where he had a blow flash to go over to the Dragon Pit, and on top of that, he kind of left B-Boy Slow out to dry. It was a little peculiar to see B-Boy Slow still sticking around, especially since they had vision of all 3 of them there. Then Glizzy God coming over. Not really. Their wave management isn't really on par to Sunnyside Varsities. Here we go, though. Looking for Blue Pancakes.
Yeah, lands the exhaust, puts the ultimate down onto Blue Pancakes. Big shutdown, again, going onto your Caitlyn, so it's all about, can we protect the president?
Yeah.
We see they're not able to really respond right here. They do have a wave. I really want to see them because right now they're lacking in global gold. The dragon is coming up in 40 seconds right here, so Blue Pancakes will be up to contest that dragon. But look at Zerozin. He's on the opposite side of the map. And look at this. They find Darkblaze out. Are they going to be able to keep him right here? The smite goes down onto him. He uses the ultimate to buy some time.
This could be huge.
He goes out and is dashing left and right. We missed the shuffle. He lands the knockup and gets some heals going, but IL lands it, and oh my god, Dark Blaze is just in the wrong spot. Another shutdown going on to Mr. President, the Caitlyn B-Boy Slow.
B-Boy Slow, he is their ray of hope for SunnysideJV. They do take Dark Blaze right before the Dragon. The Dragon's coming up in 5 seconds. They got to go ahead and coordinate themselves into taking this drag right now before Dark Blaze respawns.
Yeah, and you got to make your picks, and you have to make them quickly right here. Eggs and Rice is away from his team. They do see the bot lane walk over a ward right here, so they have to make it. Here comes the arrow, lands onto the Aurelia right here. B-Boy Slow on the backline right here, but no one is peeling for him. Look, everyone's just standing away.
No.
You got to keep the Caitlyn alive. They just walk forward, steal the Ocean Drake, and run over the JV team right here. Blue Pancakes following up with Tibbers, who's just whacking away. And there goes the biggest, scariest Teemo I have ever seen picking up a kill for Blue Pancakes.
Oh man, no one had ultimates. I could see why Morgana didn't really want to be in the middle of that during that. I don't think she had the soul shackles quite yet. If she did, then I don't see why she was just sitting in the bush. Azir as well. I don't know if he had the Shurima, the Emperor's Divide ready to go. Oh man.
Yeah, they used it all on the earlier fights to catch out the Kayn, so they used all of their cooldowns and on that one member, and so Varsity's smart enough to go, okay, maybe we're down some people, but we still have our abilities, and they just walk in and run over that team fight.
Yeah, I think that was a perfect scenario for them to come back into this game, though. Darius was just blindly walking forward. If the Morgana lands the bind onto him, that gives Azir free damage onto him, which we know he could go ahead and melt a tank type bruiser type champion with the lethal tempo, and he also has the stinger already completed. I don't see why they didn't try to turn onto the Darius. That would have just completely stopped Sunnyside Varsity in their tracks.
Yeah, I mean that's the last piece of Exodia, right? In terms of shutdowns, they shut down the Annie, they shut down the Kayn. Darius is the last one that needs to go down right there, and I mean, it kind of comes down to draft a little bit, picking such a volatile champion for Aurelia. It's it's like glass. It's like having the most wonderfulest, most nicest thing in the world, but you drop it and it just shatters into pieces. And that's kind of what happened with this Aurelia pick earlier on. I mean, he is able to show some skill and kind of work his way back, but Aurelia not able to run over the enemy team like they want to. I mean, who's Aurelia going to pop? Gonna pop the Kayn that can go through walls, jump over walls, and kind of just go inside you. Look at that enchanted crystal arrow onto the Caitlyn. The Black Shield not coming out fast enough, and here comes some peel. Able to land the soul shackle onto the Kayn, and here comes the teleport from Zerasun, but forced to walk away. Ultimate onto it, but here comes Darius. He is on the back line, puts some damage down onto B-Boy Slow, and B-Boy Slow not able to get away, just trying his best to kite. Meanwhile, Emperor's the passive from Azir goes up, but they don't care. Varsity walks right through and is able to clean up that kill. That is the ace for the Varsity squad of Sunnyside. They might be looking to end here. I'm not quite sure if they have the death timers to do it, but 22 minutes into the game, they are really putting their stamp on this.
Yeah, Sunnyside Varsity able to get an ace who... Oh, it's looking so detrimental. SunnysideJV is not team fighting the way they want, the way you would expect them to. They're definitely not playing to their strong suit. This is one Nexus turret down. That's another one.
Yeah, they're working on two.
Yeah.
And we see they're starting to tank. They do have minions here, so the damage is going to go down onto them. We see Darius taking down very low, but here we go. We see an apprehend onto Aya. He's forced to stopwatch. Aurelia goes forward, but gets knocked out right in their track. The Shurima shuffle goes forward. A three-man shuffle, but it's enough to take down two. Might be enough to stall out the game. Derek goes forward, but here comes Deathslayer. He is just so tanky, taking up so much damage. Space Ninja steps forward, is able to wrap up that kill as well. He does run over the trap right here, but they're going forward. We see Dark Blaze. He uses the ultimate, gets the damage down. He loses his life to minion. But Dark Blaze is just going to whack away at the Nexus right there. We see GG's coming out in the all chat. At 23 minutes, this may be it. Zerasun is up in 7 seconds because that Nexus is going down pretty slow, but the minions are just bashing away at it, and it's not going to be up in time. We see the varsity team from Sunnyside taking down the JV and establishing themselves as the rightful heir to the varsity tag.
Sunnyside Varsity really made their mark, but I can't help but to say I don't think this was the true JV versus varsity type of game I was looking for. There was one sub on each side, and oh, man, I definitely give kudos to Sunnyside Varsity, really putting their stamp on it. Dark Blaze, their strongest member, I think, on varsity, and they're a veteran into this competitive game. Oh man, definitely put a stamp onto the game. What's it called? Through the jungle, Red Cane, Eggs and Rice just kind of took off. Oh man, player of the game. While I'm fixing that, I have Tom right here joining me. Talk to me a little bit about it, Tom. What you see wrong? What you see right?
Um, they were. It looked like JV was caught off guard for sure with that sub.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that that was the problem though.
Mhm.
I think JV got a little too ahead of themselves and felt too confident and went into it a little too unprepared. I, I still think it was a really good match though. Varsity really showing me up. I really love seeing that as well too. Varsity just doing such a great job early and being able to push on that. And you can really see the veteran shot calling coming out there from Tim, Dark Blaze 155, doing a really good job making the shot calls. Very meticulous gameplay, very well thought out, good decisions being made, and also mechanically playing it very well too. So props to Dark Blaze really shining. He has my vote for sure. Man, but that's not even to like outshine JV, right? JV coming through, a fresh team coming in, being able to play as well as they currently play. Just an amazing bunch of kids too, being able to come together like that and being very hungry. I really just want to accentuate that just because, and I'm not trying to harp on them like, oh, I love this team so much. Um, I love the concept and the idea of their team right now, and I wish that, and I hope to help push that kind of vibe, that energy to every other team in Fresno to try and build up their teams to have that kind of drive. Because again, it's just a beautiful thing to see. Like, when I think of AOE, that's what I think about is the hunger, humble, hungry, and smart. Just being able to move around those three attributes and just being able to work on that, I love it. I'll let Brigido have some at it too.
Yeah, that bot lane. This bot lane is pretty scary. I mean, that Caitlyn, they won so many 2v2s right there. I mean, the game was pretty much decided in terms of that invade from Tim when we saw the failed gank after clearing the blue side from the Vi. I mean, that's kind of where the game started going south for the Vi, and Kane started to get it very far ahead. And then just the solo kills from the Darius onto the Aurelia. There were 2 solo kills right here. That would be my other candidate for player of the game. I know there wasn't as much kill participation, but just the amount of threat Darius had, being able to walk into Caitlyn and just nuke Caitlyn right away, or just being able to put that pressure on the top lane was kind of pivotal, I think, to their success. But, I mean, you just saw Tim knew exactly where Vi was. Dark Blaze knew where Vi was pretty much the entire game, and they were able just to capitalize on it so hard. We saw it at the red buff. We saw it in the mid lane, and Glizzy God was kind of stepping forward to kind of back that up, and then ended up paying for the mistake of the Vi right there, and it just let the game kind of go out of control right there. I would say this isn't the kind of comp I'm used to seeing JV run. I've seen them be very successful with other types of comps. I'm going to check the spectate link to see if any of those champions were banned away, and they weren't. So I don't want to leak too much for them, but I just want to say it's a different look than what I usually see. I mean, looking across the map in terms of kill participation too, Deathslayer also did good to kind of get onto the enemy teams. He just got on them and popped them right away. It's just hard. There was a lot of very good performers from the side of the varsity squad, but I want to say that just because JV lost this game, I don't think we kind of put them as that far behind. They definitely have the possibility. They just have to kind of find their niche.
Yeah, pretty well said. Pretty well said. And again, I don't mean to be I don't mean to be a party pooper to this game, but oh man, still so many questions, and it's like okay. I almost feel like it would have probably been the same outcome though. You guys are kind of saying that Sunnyside JV didn't really play their game, right? So if Sunnyside JV would have done the same thing with the original roster of Sunnyside Varsity, would it have been the same outcome, right? That's such a big what if. I guess in my head, I think I'm kind of leaning onto that probably would have happened. So this is definitely Sunnyside Varsity's win, flat out. Oh man, but Sunnyside JV. Oh man, this it's not reality. You know what I mean? It's just all speculation still. So still a super hype game. It was definitely had its moments where they were just kind of doing their own thing doing their own thing, and then just kind of like a snake they strike. You know what I mean? So it was intense. I definitely liked B Boy's Caitlyn. It was pretty insane, especially that bot lane fight while they were tower diving up in the top lane. It was pretty sick to see. And there right there, Corey, he says he has high hopes for JV. I'm pretty sure a lot of people still think that as well. We're gonna go ahead and give another minute to the player of the game. It looks like Dark Blaze is in the lead, and that's not the answer. There's still a to be continued, right?
Yeah.
There's still a to be continued.
There's so much to look forward to this season.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah, because after this double round robin, the teams will meet again. I think the first round robin completes tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Okay, because GZG played free agents. They played Sunnyside Varsity. They played Sunnyside JV. Tomorrow, GZG plays up against the Boomer Boys, correct? That's your team, along with Acolyte, the Gooch Pooch, Anvari, and Sizz. Ah, man. So those were the two heavy favorite teams. It definitely got interesting with JV's team against GZG. Varsity now beating Sunnyside JV. Did that stabilize kind of like the predictions of what people thought where Boomer Boys and GZG were going to be the top two teams? Or is that just showing that Sunnyside Varsity has something in store and they won't take the slander no more? You know what I mean?
Dude, I hope too. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many parts of me being torn apart here. Like, I don't know
man.
what side to join. I'm also playing too, you know, and it's like, how do I feel? How should I feel?
Yeah.
So it's a whole bunch of feelings for sure.
Oh man. All right. So let me go ahead and take a look. That's pretty much a good amount of time. Player of the game goes to Dark Blaze. Shout out to Dark Blaze there. Player of the game of round 3 up against Sunnyside JV. I definitely think this is Dark Blaze's team. And it definitely was his game to lose the way it turned out.
Yeah.
So kudos to him. 100%. I mean, that's what I was keeping an eye on in this game is how well Dark Blaze was going to do up against Darius, or how well Darius was going to do up against Dark Blaze, because I know Dark Blaze is definitely an all-around good jungler.
Yeah.
Like really good jungler.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you fall behind in the CS or in the map pressure department or in the objective controls, he will go ahead and take his lead there.
Yeah. I want to say, just as a suggestion, since I'm on it right now, play something that's less one-directional. Derek, that's my suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Junglers definitely need to be more versatile, or given a tool that's more versatile.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that you have the potential and the current skill to navigate with. Also, just real quick as well too, high schools in Fresno. If you guys are watching, please send me a screenshot or your schedule so that we can track you guys, and then we can also try and watch your game.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try to add someone from each of the teams in Fresno so that we can start spotlighting you guys. I'm putting you on the AOE channel because, again, I want to see you guys put all of what you're learning here into those games, and then I want to be able to put you guys on a pedestal and talk about you guys and, you know, brag about you guys to the schools to show that you guys are, you know, keeping yourself occupied, busy, doing something that's very productive for yourself. So we want to make sure that you guys are using your time, valuing your time by having me do that for you guys. And thank you guys so much for super helpful with the community as well. And also tomorrow we do have our games. It's going to be starting a little earlier than usual, 4 to 6. is going to be the AOE games, and then following that is going to be Fresno State's debut match. If you guys don't know, I am coaching Fresno State's varsity League of Legends team as well. I want you guys to try and support them and see what kind of competition that they play against and how good they are. They are doing pretty well right now. Fresno State's doing pretty well right now in scrims. We haven't dropped a game yet except to, I think, Allen. And I want you guys to be able to watch it just because you guys will get a good feel of what it's like in collegiate. I'm not going to say it's the best, but I'm not going to say it's the worst level of competition, but it's going to be something that you guys want to look for, especially like the Sunnyside teams. You guys looking playing on a collegiate team, be sure to check it out. It's going to be pretty fun, pretty good to watch. Yeah, we have a lot of entertaining composition to show you guys as well.
Corey, I like how your morale for your JV team is not hurt one bit. It's not it's not affected one bit. They definitely showed that they're no, you guys are no slouches. He said set up scrim. You gotta hit up Tom on you gotta hit up Tom on the DMs or on the AOE server and set that up. Acolyte, any last words for this for these two matches that we saw? You still here with us?
I'm just saying we got the first round robin actually ends on Sunday. That's when we actually see every team has played each other once.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah,
that's where round 5 is. And when we're talking about top 2, I know we're saying Boomer Boys and Grizzlies were the top 2 teams right here, but Sunnyside Varsity was pretty clinical in this game. And I've seen JV, when we've scrimmed them before, they have given us some problems. So we are able to identify where our weaknesses are. But seeing Varsity for the first time is going to be a very interesting match. So I don't think it's very black and white in terms of 1, 2, and 3. I think Varsity is going to be able to put up a very good fight. And I'm just saying we have a very exciting weekend ahead of us in terms of League of Legends. So AOE, it's going to be hype. I hope you guys are here to join us and watch these incredible matches unfold.
100%.
I second that.
Yeah.
I second that.
Yeah, so just a recap of what Tom was saying. Tomorrow, 4 to 6, the AOE games. After that, we have the state games where they're going to be playing up against,
Colorado State University.
Colorado State University. Fresno State team has, I can say the roster, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Bacon Yummy in the top lane. Jungle has Lunatic Plus. Mid lane has Quest. ADC is Chunky Monkey. And in the support role, they have Jinxie Moo. That's her in-game name. I was like, oh, okay. So there you go. If you're wondering where they're at in AOE, they're practicing up against other teams. They're focusing on the collegiate part of their League of Legends career. So there you guys have it. Thank you very much.
Real quick. Is it going to be a best of 1 or a best of 3 tomorrow? How do these collegiate games look for the Fresno State team?
They're best of 3 right now until you get into. Then those are best of 5.
All right, and is this tournament bracket? Is it round robin? Like, how do the standings go? I was looking up some information during work hours, and I was trying to see what the schedule was going to look like for our Fresno State team because I really want to kind of push this out. So, is it already in a bracket format? Do we have like a regular season standings and a certain amount of teams make it to playoffs? Like, how does that work?
They already have the brackets set out, but the brackets again are set up based on who wins and loses, and their dates are Tuesdays and Saturdays. So it's not guaranteed that we're going to be Tuesdays, not guaranteed Saturdays, but it will be those 2 days, and it is tournament based, double elimination. We are currently on a bye from Tuesday, so this first match is going to post, I think, the bottom seed playing against the seed, or I think two bottom seeds are coming up to play against us or whoever the winner is. The bracket is set up. I wasn't able to post that yet just because they were still making changes to it, but I can post that. And then I posted on the AOE Discord as well too the seeds and the teams that are playing in the Mountain West Conference. So again, this is relative, not directly with the NCAA because again, Mountain West is part of NCAA, but this is not affiliated with it, so the rulings do coincide. Just to make sure that. And yeah, so that's pretty much how it's going. I think it's 9 or 10 teams on the Mountain West roster. So that's about 9 or 10 schools That's 4 more than we had last year. So again, it's a bigger showing. And once we win, or once we win, we'll go into nationals, and that's gonna be regions versus other. I think it's the top 2 teams, I say, from each region that get to play in there. Depending on how many teams are in each region, they take however many teams based off of the number of prior to the national. Sorry, that was a poor explanation, but I'll be posting that up as well too, so that you guys can closely follow.
All right, we'll be getting updates. I'm glad to hear from the coach himself. So that's going to do it for myself. I'm going to let Fantastic Fat Man on the 1s and 2s wrap this up.
Oh. Well, thank you so much, Acolyte. You know, we got reminded on why you're the best play-by-play caster here in AOE, and I think of NA. Tomorrow, GZG versus Free Agents, and then it's Sunnyside Varsity. Oh no, sorry. Free Agents versus Sunnyside Varsity tomorrow, and then it's Boomer Boys versus GZG. So Free Agents, they get their taste at the high school teams. You know what I mean? They get to play up against the high school teams now and probably show how strong they are. Definitely looking for their first dub, and then Boomer Boys versus GZG. We get to see who wins out of these 2 Titan teams, you know? So definitely stay tuned for tomorrow. And that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you, Acolyte, Tom, and again, all of AOE. We would be nothing without you guys. Later. All right, roll the music in. Dun, 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 dun.